Hey guys, Juan here with the Coal Firm again. Today we're going to be talking about construction loans. Basically, people are going to they want to understand how they're going to build a home, and they never built one, okay, from scratch. So typically, if you go buy an apple pie from Publix or Walmart or HEB, if you're from Texas, shout out. That's going to be a lot different than if you grow the apples in your backyard or in your farm and you build a apple pie from scratch. And when you're building a home from scratch, it's a whole different process. Okay, there's a lot more goes into it because now you're being exposed to every phase of it. The first step is getting a construction to perm loan. You can get, there's different types of loans you can get. Everything's based off of a couple things. Number one, your credit score. Okay, gotta have a valid credit score. Typically you want something 600 plus, 650 plus, 700, depends on the bank and the lending institution. Number two, your debt to income ratio. What this means is they're going to look at how much debt you got going out every month and how much money you got coming in every month. So you need to make sure you're making a lot more money coming in than versus money you got pushing out. So your debt to income ratio has got to be balanced. Okay. So you got your credit score, your debt to income ratio, and basically how much money you got to put down. Sometimes you can put 5% down, FHA, you can do a rural, agricultural loan, you could do a VA loan, no money down, okay? The only thing you really need to pay out of pocket is basically your design, when you're starting your design process. That money is actually reimbursed to you back through your loan, so long as you keep your receipt and your plans. We take that and we roll that back into your final estimate. So you pay $3,500 or $10,000 for design, development, estimating, engineering. Those are proper. Those are normal process of building any custom home or barndominium in the industry. That's actually reimbursed to you through your loan. So that's the cash you cough up, and on the back end you get that reimbursed back to you on the loan. So long as you're reminded, and we can remind the builder, our building team will put it on the loan so that you get that money reimbursed back to you. Okay, so you're doing a construction perm loan, you can do, there's several different types of loans. You guys can use ChatGPT, you guys can use Google, but you also got a standalone construction. The loan basically covers the building phase and you pay it back directly after the home is complete. You got owner builder construction loans. Basically, some banks will allow you to build your own home, but you usually typically take the risk or run the risk of, if you mess it up, it's your money and you got to eat it. Whereas the builder, if he messes it up and draws are cut out to the builder, it's his problem. So there's that assurance and insurance that if anything goes wrong in a project, you're not held liable because you're the customer and you're not the builder. You're, as a builder, the client, they accumulate all that risk if they build their own home. So if you ever mess up anything in construction, I know I have, and I know many people have, especially when doing carpentry or you don't have the right cuts, if you don't do it every day, it's probably not going to be the best. That's why they have subcontractors, that they come in, tradesmen, they come in and they're the best at what they do. One guy does flooring, that's all he does. One guy comes in and does framing, that's all he does. They do it all the time, 24/7, they're professionals. A doctor, that's all they do. I would never expect my doctor to frame a house. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there, but I wouldn't trust them with my house. I mean, nor would I trust my electrician to do heart surgery on a patient, okay? So everybody's got their own God-given talents, and they have to be respected and respectable, okay? So in and of itself, a lot of people don't understand how many years it takes to become a good carpenter. They don't understand how many years it takes to develop a craft and a skill and hundreds and thousands of repetitions to become very, very good at what they do. And then that's why they make it look so easy, so fast, because they've done thousands of repetitions to make it look easy. But if you go in your first time as an amateur trying to do it, you're probably going to cost yourself more money, time, energy, and headache. So be careful what you see on YouTube, okay? So going back to loans, there's renovation construction loans. You basically borrow money. A lot of flippers will take that money, invest it, and turn it back on the market and get a return on investment, okay? FHA loans, one-time loan constructions. You got VA loans, USDA construction loans in rural areas. People that live in rural areas they could do what you call a wrap mortgage with these type of loan, construction perm loans. You take the land, say the land's $100,000, and after you get your plans and you do a full-blown estimate, and say the estimate comes out to 332. So you add 332 plus 100,000. Your land and home package with your septic, with your well, with your excavation, your concrete, your clearing, your grading, your driveway, your fencing, your landscaping, everything done. You're at 432,000 because you're taking 100,000 from the land and it's come wrapping it together to loan. So the underwriters will look at the whole package and base off their appraisal, based off the full-blown estimate from the builder, right? So a builder has what you call line items, and they go down, okay, how much is it gonna cost for clearing and grading? All right, 10,000, 14,000. That's why not all homes are the same, because not all pieces of land are the same. It might cost $40,000 to clear this lot. It might cost $4,000 to clear this lot and get it level and cleared. If you buy a piece of land that's sitting on a slope, that's on the side of a hill, well, you might have to cut into the hill, and that's gonna cost a lot more time, energy. It might take 3 weeks, 2 weeks to do that project, versus you buy a nice flat piece of land, you know, it's real easy. I dealt with a client in Texas, a physician, a doctor, like 600 acres up in Uvalde, Texas, and he's like, how much could it cost to pull power? It cost me $80,000 to pull power, because the company will only pull so far, and then from the main road, they pulled it all the way to his ranch. So $80,000 just to get power to the property. So if you got power on property, that's a big win. I bought a ranch in Texas, 40 acres. When I bought that first ranch, they gave me an estimate for $40,000 just to pull power to the property. That being said, I sold the ranch, okay? I got rid of the ranch as fast as I could, because if you don't have power, you don't have water, it makes it for a rough day for everybody. So power is a necessity. So when you're buying land, make sure you do your proper due diligence, okay? So we'll talk about that. This is more, we're talking about different type of loans and construction loans. We'll talk about land, and that's what I love talking about land, because I won't say I made a lot of mistakes, but I just didn't make the best decisions. I made some really good decisions, but that's how you learn. You know, that's part of getting in the game, and sometimes you got to learn the hard way. Sometimes you learn the easy way, right? There's also there's barndo and steel construction loans, but they're all the same. You got to have a plan. Typically that plan's got to be stamped and sealed by a licensed engineering firm. Protects everybody in the building process. You've got to get a full-blown estimate from a licensed builder, okay? That builder's got to be a licensed, insured, bonded builder. That's what we have. We have a group of us. So our group and our team, I was a baseball coach for years. You got to have your drafter, your designer. You got to have your engineer. If you're doing steel, you got to have your steel manufacturing plan that's on the same page with the design and engineering team. Okay, and the design, engineering team, manufacturer, you got to be the same team with the steel erectors. And the steel erection crews got to be on the same page with the general contractor. And the general contractor oversees the whole entire project. But typically in this world of steel, pre-engineered steel buildings, or cold form or red iron, typically we understand the industry very well, so we're able to communicate to the builders how this whole process works. And he has this different subs, like your plumbers, your concrete crew, right? We typically like to handle the concrete, the steel erection plans, because that's where things can get really fuzzy, and we'd like to just control that, keep that underneath one umbrella, and make sure it goes really smooth. After that, my builders usually go in there, finish it out, rip it out really fast with all the subcontractors, and they're in, they're out, and they're done. You got a beautiful home. So you can basically finish out anything as nice as you want. It's just how much money you want to spend. The money goes into the detailing, it goes into the finishes, it goes into the type of, just everything you want. So not all bills are the same. So if you're trying to get money, finance it, make sure your credit's in check, make sure you got obviously more money coming in, you got going out every month. You try to try to increase your credit score. And at the end of the day, we'd love to help you, get you on the right path, okay? So guys, God bless you. My name is Juan with the Colt Firm. Check us on the web at coltfirm.com. And this subject again is construction and perm loans and financing. Guys, have a blessed day.